I'm just getting the channel ready, folks. I see you. I see you. Did you folks witness the debate last night? I am wiped out, by the way. I'm just totally exhausted. Boy, just not working out today. Even the internet is like butt slow. All right, I think we're up. Little Java. So did you guys watch the debate last night? It was, I mean, I've seen, growing up in New York, growing up in the Bronx, New York City, I've seen some ass kicking. I've seen some ass kicking in my years. But last night was one major ass kicking. Joe Biden was on the ropes. 90% of the evening was on the ropes. And you could tell the last 40 minutes of that debate, he was exhausted. He was just, he started out standing tall to a slight slump and his head cocked down. And you got to saw the crease here in the eyebrows go from a comb to a slightly slanted position. That boy got his ass kicked from both sides of his cheeks. And that's not coming from somebody. I'm not a Republican. I'll say it again. I saw what I saw. And the telltale sign was how the news pundits reacted. Donna Brazile on Fox News. She actually is a Democrat, worked for the DNC, got busted for sharing her questions with, because she used to do these debates. She got busted for sharing her questions with the Democrat Party. Don't you remember? And then she got canned, and then Fox News hired her. So, obviously, but you could tell just by her sour puss, yeah, I'll call it that, her sour puss look on her face. You could tell they lost. And last night was the first time in a while that I saw Donald Trump winning. I actually witnessed Joe Biden standing on that stage. I actually watched him. We all watched him lose the election right there on the stage as we lived and breathed. It was an amazing, calming effect on me. I've been worried about it. I really have, you know. Are they going to still try to steal the election? No doubt about it. So last night, one of the questions was about Joe Biden receiving money from foreign countries, Russia and China, just to name a couple. And this is how sneaky and snaky and slimy these politicians are. I've never received money from Russia or China or any foreign country since I was in office, or what did he say, 47 years, since in the 47 years I've been in politics. But these guys are smarter than that. They use laundry systems. What does that mean? Well, you set up an entity That entity can be one person, it can be a corporation. That foreign government will pay the entity, the foreign government, perhaps your son, Hunter Biden. Then that entity shares your percentage. So, in truth, Hunter Biden never received any money directly. Listen to the words that are coming out of his mouth. Never received any money from Russia or China. That's a true statement. The emails that have been leaked from his laptop imply that is a true statement. The monies always went to Hunter. Hunter shared the monies with the big guy, Joe Biden. That's how it works. So last night, technically, if you really wanted to get technical, Joe Biden was telling the truth. They're going to come out with the garbage. They're going to come out with the truth. And I'm also reading on reputable Twitter accounts. Obama is linked to this. That news has not been made public for some reason yet, but I got a feeling within the next couple of days it will be. Somehow Obama is linked to it. You know, I don't know how. I don't know if he was a recipient of money or if he was in on the game or if he just knew about it. I find it hard as the President of the United States not to know the comings and goings of your vice president. After all, you are the leader, right? You are responsible for your employees, right? As they conduct foreign business, right? But I witnessed last night, I just said to myself, Trump's going to win. There's no doubt about it in my soul right now. Trump will win. And he laid it out. I am not a politician, folks. I wouldn't be here if my predecessors didn't do such a lousy job. These politicians, he's actually pointing to his left towards Biden. These politicians have ruined your country. They've made matters, they turned you into slaves while they've enriched themselves. Biden has something like 3 or 4 homes. And they're not $200,000 homes like you and I. They're in the millions on premium properties. How do you get that kind of money just being a politician, a servant? I always said that. They get on the podium and they preach to you. They try to sell themselves. Please elect me. I want to be your servant. Send me to Washington to serve you. I will be your obedient server. When have you ever heard of a servant making more money than the master, than the boss? They don't go to Washington to be your servant. They go to Washington to rule over you. To rule over you while they enrich themselves, making more rules against you, so the odds of them succeeding are better. Remember when we were all children, folks, and we would play with our brothers and sisters? Perhaps it was a card game. Perhaps it was a new board game. And we knew the game a little bit better than our brothers and our sisters. And we would make up phony rules just so we would win. We'd lie about the rules a little bit. No, you can't use aces. You know, remember those? That's what they do. Lawmakers make rules. What is a law? It is a rule that burdens you. It ties your hands. It says you cannot do this. Laws and rules don't say you can do it. I don't know of one law that says you can do something. It's always you can't do it. Yet they continue to do quite the opposite. So they're rigging the game. They're all becoming rich. And Trump is just exposing. He is exposing with this with what government is really, truly for. I said it before. I'll say it again. Slavery never ended. It was perfected. We are all slaves. And Trump is just starting to show us what slaves we have become. Let me say hello to a few people here in the room. I'm going to actually... Oh, man. I had a rough night last night. Every now and then I get really antsy, you know, that hyped up, amped up thing. I had to take a sleeping pill. And now I'm just groggy. Coins USA, hello. Jersey Gal, thank you. JK Pioneer, Libtard, 12 more years. Jessica Martinez, hola. Thank you so much, Jessica. Law and Order Prepper, thank you. Scott Milano, Jersey Gal again. Knockout Nick, Knockout Nick. Hello from Memphis, Pence 2024. Yeah, Law and Order, Trump did a great performance, and I agree with you. Biden, the last 40 minutes, hour, he looked frail, he looked weak, he started to stagger and trip over his own tongue. You witnessed it. Can you imagine? That's just Trump. Can you imagine going up against Chinese diplomats, Russian diplomats? He can't do it. Victor Frankenstein. Thank you, Mike Erickson. Biden for Leavenworth, inmate 2020. Inmate 2020. That would be so freaking cool. The black and white stripes and inmate number 2020 on his freaking thing. Oh, I might have to I have to steal that one from you, Mike. I might have to use that in a future video. I'll lie and tell him I made it up, though, okay? Inmate 2020, step forward. Drop your pants. We need to do a rectal exam. Stephen Parsons, again, thank you. Silver Smith Shield, thank you very much. Who else is here? Texas Shepherdess. Couldn't bear the thought of watching those two again. Nope. You should have watched it, Texas. It was wonderful. And it was actually very, very civil. Trump behaved himself. If anything, I thought it was over-civilized. J.D. Stacker, it's going great and pristine green in the House. Knockout Nick. If Biden wins, he'll just crush the oil industry, the whole economy, no biggie. And don't you always notice they always say it's going to be fixed? No matter what it is, it's going to be fixed by 2035. They always put out a number to where nobody will remember. Hey, wait. 15 years ago, didn't you make a promise that you're going to have this done? Nobody will remember. You mark my words. Not just this election, every past election, but more importantly, every election going forward. They're going to do it by some outrageous year. It's going to be done by, 2035. How do you make a statement like that? First of all, who's to say the next president is not going to cancel that plan? How do you make a statement like that unless you're planning on everybody really forgetting about it and you really are not or do not have a plan implemented? Speaking of plans, Biden is notorious for saying, I have a plan. And then in the next sentence, well, you heard my plan. What's your plan, Trump? Well, I just told you my plan. My plan is a plan to have a plan to do the plan to show the plan to, but I have a plan. What's your plan, Trump? You just heard my plan. Saying you have a plan does not mean you have a plan. What are the details to the plan? What are the steps of your plan? At no time will he ever tell you what his plans are. Please be very cognitive when you hear Joe Biden talk. Again, I am not a Republican. I'm not going after Biden because I am a Republican and I'm on the opposing side. I am an outsider looking in and just really tearing up their words and dissecting it for you. All night long, I didn't hear one plan. All I heard is I have a plan outlining, to get this done by 3035 or 2035. That's my plan. More coffee. I think I need to set up an IV directly from the espresso machine into my vein. An IV with a long hose to where I can walk around the house. That's what I need today. I actually don't drink a lot of coffee. I normally have one strong coffee in the morning and I'm good for the entire day. Now on my weekends, like today when I have a day off, I'll have about 2 or 3 throughout the day. But if you really think about it, 2 or 3 throughout a 10-hour day, when you wake up 8 o'clock till 5, it's not a lot of coffee. Normally only have one a day though. Come on, man. Jeremy Wagner, thank you so much for being here. Come on, man. If you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Now pass me the watermelon and hypodermic needle. That was actually in a movie. This one white dude tries to be black. He falls in love with a black girl in college. And when he meets her parents, he paints himself black and goes over there to impress her parents. And that's one of the things he says when he's sitting at the dinner table. Pass me the watermelon and hypodermic needle. Jesus. Oh, that was something. William Ridge, thank you so much for being here. And Fox Stang again. Silver Maple. Go Trumpty Dumpty. Alrighty. I don't know whether you're for Trump or against him by that statement. FTRA 1987. They're stupid to think base solar and wind power can supply the United States. Well, just think of it on a smaller scope. The amount of solar panels to supply a home is just phenomenal. You would need to coat your entire roof with solar panels. And you would have to, if you're off the grid, no longer rely on the electric company. Let's face it. That would be the ultimate power conservation, right? You would need a battery bank as large as this room in order to supply your home. I mean, maybe not quite as large as this room. Half this room, you would literally need to fill this room up with some high-end batteries to supply your house with its every electrical need. It's too expensive. Solar panels, you can buy cheapies and you get what you pay for, but a decent solar panel, you'd probably wind up paying about $400 for it. But you would need to coat your entire roof with those panels. The batteries alone are just astronomically expensive. You got converters that convert the sun's energy into, I think, either 12 or 6 volt power. So you got to buy the converters, and then you need to convert the power from DC from your battery to AC. There's another converter. It is so expensive for solar panel just for the home, and he plans on doing this for the entire United States. You know who actually profits the most from solar electricity? The electrical companies. Now they're getting their electricity for virtually free because guess what? All the solar panels that are put up for the electrical company, subsidized by your tax dollars, not their profits. So now they're getting electricity for free and they're selling it to you. Don't get me wrong. There are some people who have solar panels on their roof, but it's connected to the grid. And it's taken, that energy is taken from the owners of that solar panels. It's put onto the grid, the electrical company. They give you a little off your electrical bill for doing their farming, electrical farming. It's a real scam. So if you can get off the grid completely, that's awesome. But it's very, very expensive. There's some YouTube channels that tell you how to do it if you got the money. It'll probably run you right around 10, 15, I would say 15 grand at a minimum. I wonder how many of the 50 million voters want to change their votes now. Well, I agree with you, but think about the 35 million that have already voted who want to change their vote now. Why do you think they kept pushing, vote early, vote early, no, vote early, vote early. All the news stations, all the news outlets parrot, vote early, vote early, vote early. Why? They want people to vote before they find out anything negative about the person that they're voting for. That's why. There's another reason. It's so they can tally up the votes towards the end of the election period. Calculate how much more they need. And they come up with them. They find them in trunks of cars and, they find them anywhere they can. Places like Pennsylvania, the places that want to extend voting another 3 to 10 days past election date. But that's really why they tell people to vote early. To lock them in case you hear something that you don't like about your candidate. It's too late. You voted. No. I am Negan's here, and who else is here? Like Hawk Demon. The only way Biden wins is through a crooked election. I agree with you, man. I agree with you. Let's see, who else is here? Dove Season. Term limits on all political offices. Okay. Neo Gaming. Let's go Ethereum. So think about this. I'm not really worried about Biden's tax returns. I don't need to see them. First of all, if you're doing criminal activity, come on, dudes, and dudettes. Are you really gonna put it on are you really gonna go to your accountant? Hey, I got $3.5 million from this Russian oligarch. What form do I need to fill out to claim it? Trust me. The illegal dealings of politicians will not be on any tax form. So don't even, the tax forms are nothing. Again, everything is laundered. Who else is here? Distinguished gentleman with Eddie Murphy. Oh, gosh. I think I gulped on that one. Jeremy Wagner, back to stacking. Thank you so much. Tamara Peabody in the house. I am Negan, Victor. Let's reduce the number of slug politicians on the U.S. payroll. We should try one senator, one congressman per state. Okay. Today Biden's now saying fossil fuels will be here until at least 2050. Do you see what I mean? They're always extending that date. I'm going to fix all your problems. Those problems will be fixed by 2035. You and I will forget when 2035 rolls around. We won't even remember. You won't even remember me, let alone the promise a politician has made for you. Imagine this. You go up to your boss. Yeah, I'm going to break all sales records, and we're going to fix, our relations with this corporation and that corporations, and we're going to have dealings that are groundbreaking, record-breaking. We're going to sell more product than you can even keep up with. I'm going to get this achieved by 2050. Can you imagine going into your boss's office and saying that? Yeah, what are your goals? Well, by 2050, I like to be sitting in that chair, sir. Oh, Lord. Peter Oro in the house. Thank you so much. Keep all Democrats out. I'm in for it. Let's see. Big Parl. My family came to this country in a raft from Cuba. If you don't vote Trump, there is no country to run to. Beautiful statement. Where are you going to go if this doesn't exist, folks? There's no other place. There's no other place no place is perfect on earth. There is no perfect place, but this is as good and as close to perfection as you're going to get. I know you're Italian. You need to try a Cuban coffee called Cortadito. You'll thank me later. I'll look that up, actually. Let me write that down. If it's the one I'm thinking about, it's where it starts off with with sugar and espresso, and then you slowly incorporate or whip it or something like that. I'm looking for a pencil and pen. Cortadito or something like that. I'll have to write it down later. But if you want to email me that, I will definitely look into that. That coffee drink. Thank you so much. So that's an EOTech site on the AR. That's EOTech. Holographic EOTech. Closer look, sure. I gotta balance it on my elbows because if I shake too much, it doesn't focus. Move out of the way here. So that's the site. And looking into it, basically looks like that. I can watch YouTube ban me now. So I also got the rear and front sight co-witnessed with the EOTech. In case my EOTech goes down for any reason, I still got my sights perfectly aligned. Okay, who else is here? MK Ultra and Wes and Gary Hughes and BB and Big Pearl. Thank you everybody for being here. Big Pearl, I'd like to ask you a question. There's a large chance that you're living in an immigrant community, possibly Cuban community. What is your honest assessment? Is that community voting for Biden or Trump? I'd like to know. I'd like to know how the immigrant community, how they think. Maple Leaf, thank you. Thank you, Maple. I give my life for America. Rome Beer. War Nickel 360. So if Biden wins the election, not going to happen. And it's sworn in then. Hunter Biden stuff confirmed. Joe gets impeached. No. So it will never be. If Donald Trump wins the election, this is what happens. He shuts down all investigations. Remember, Commander-in-Chief, he will shut down all investigations and sweep it all under the rug, and you will never know about it. That's what happens. That is why Hillary Clinton wanted to win so badly, so she can shut it down. Remember what she said. Oh my God, speaking of Trump, oh my God, if he wins, we're all going to hang. I think she said those exact words. Look it up on Google. So that's why it's imperative that they really win. I would love to get the ACOG for my AR, but it's $1,200 and I can't afford that. $1,200 ACOG for that. I think it's spelled ACOG or something like that. Look it up. Really nice. Why are your rear pop-ups engaged? It just happens to be like that right now. Cheaper, Ruger 556 MPR, flipped up irons, reflex optics. Thank you so much. 98% is voting Trump. This is the question I asked of of where he lives, Red Parle. And he says 98% is voting Trump, armed to the teeth and ready to go. We are a different animal when compared to other Latinos. That's awesome. 98% of the Cuban community where Red Parle lives is voting Trump. They know what socialism is. They're coming from Cuba. They've seen it. Many of them witnessed the onslaught of it. They witnessed how it grew and became to be. Pass that information on to their children. Their children are now here in the United States. They know what it's like, and they don't want to go back to it. Knockout Nick, thank you. Morbid Mike, hello from Baltimore, Maryland. Hey, Morbid Mike, I'm going to ask the same question from you. Baltimore, Maryland. What's the temperature like there as far as political climate? Are they leaning towards Trump or Biden where you're at? Just curious. Please answer. Dove Season 91. The 2% degenerates are probably the welfare recipients. Google the mini ACOG. Okay, will do. I would love to get the normal ACOG, though. There ain't no mini about me. It's all or none. Just like the guns. I don't like mini anything. Give me the big one. Let's go shoot some stuff. Hey, Ortax, this is my first live stream of yours, and I see others but never caught one. But I'm glad to be here, and you're about that. The corruption is crazy. It is. Corruption's crazy. You know, we've all led to believe that slavery ended. No, I think it was perfected. I truly believe slavery was perfected. You know, the tactics of the mafia, the old days, where they'd go around and break a store up until the owner said, hey, okay, once a month you come by, I'll give you your cut. And the mafia would come the next month, and if the money wasn't there, they'd tear up the store and shit like that. Our government put an end to the mafia and took up its tactics. No different slavery. Hey, that's a good deal. We're going to end slavery so we can incorporate that into our governance. And that's what's happened. Mafia tactics and slavery. We're all slaves. You know, it's funny. When you combine your state taxes, your federal taxes, it's approximately 30% of your paycheck if you're earning a paycheck out there. And I won't even go into other taxes. Licensings and permits and fishing licenses and registrations for your car. Those are all taxes too. I'm not going to even go there. Just going to stay with federal and state, approximately 30%. Yet God only asks for 10%. 10% tithing is good enough for God, but not the government. Just think about that. Thank you, Jeff Lone Wolf. Thank you, Benjamin. When I sell silver, do I pay taxes? So you got to be careful when selling silver. I think coin shops and whatnot are mandated by law, some type of law, to report any kind of sale over a certain amount. So you might want to check your local laws, or maybe even talk to your coin shop. Hey, do you report? What is the maximum amount that I sell that you are required to report to the government? That sort of thing. Talk to them. Yeah, last night, Gary, I got that feeling, that warmth feeling of comfort that Trump's got this. Jeff Lonework, I think you're right about that. Thank you. Altila Santos, Mini 14 is pretty nice. Yeah, I would love to get a Mini 14, I got to admit. I would love that. What else? There's another one I want. Gosh darn it. There's so many guns I want. Yeah, Mini 14 is sweet. So Peter Oro says above 10K. But again, check your individual state for its tax reporting requirements, okay? Mini is sweet. Yeah, you could probably sell your silver, under the wire, sell it to fellow folks like here. For example, if I was to say I'm selling 200 ounces, I'd bet you right now I would get people who'd want to buy it. So there's ways you can probably mitigate those taxes. Not that I'm trying to educate people on how to get away from paying taxes, but there are ways. Social media sites, if you have a following, or even within a group. I'm sure if I'm just going to pick a name out, I'm sure if Gary Hughes said, "Hey, I got 50 ounces for sale. Does anyone want to buy it?" I'm sure somebody will contact Gary Hughes. Yeah, I'll buy it, and he doesn't have to pay any taxes. He can say, "I have 10,000 ounces to sell," and probably 20, 30, 40, maybe 50 people reach out to him. "Hey, I'll buy a portion of that," and he wouldn't have to pay any taxes, in my opinion. So as far as Biden signs, I'm actually creating a video right now. I'm driving around town and I'm seeing vandalized signs, and I actually drive around town. I'm uploading that video next. Appreciate if everybody checks it out. I actually drive around and I show you vandalized signs, and you'll be surprised which signs are vandalized and which signs are left alone. Stay tuned. My next video. My very next video. Who else is here? Happy Friday from one taxpayer to another. Yes. Happy Friday to everybody. How long have I been on here? It's been a little while. Yeah. I'm out of it today. I feel like all freaking doped up, man. I took a little sleeping pill I shouldn't have last night. I was amped, your mind is rocking and rolling. It won't, you feel like you drank too much coffee or something. And I just said to my wife, "Hey, can you cut me a little piece of a sleeping pill?" Because I don't take a full one, and I'm just so groggy this morning. I'm so groggy. Shotgun? Sure. All right. 870. That's all it is. Very simple shotgun. Just very simple. You don't have to go out and buy anything fancy. This will stop your intruders, your typical, Black Lives Matter rioters, your Antifa. This is the anti-Antifa model, by the way. Yeah, it's actually etched in the metal right there. This is the anti-Antifa weapon right here. See my studio lighting behind me? Gotta love it. Cliff Hide, Pure Sheep. I don't even know what Pure Sheep is, but I heard of Cliff Hide. Anyway, folks, I am going to get out of here. I'm going to go take a shower, shave, clean up a little bit, get out of the house for a while. I appreciate everybody stopping by. Thank you so much, Big Pearl. Thank you very much. You are the real reason. No, I'm sorry. I don't know where I came with that. The real reason why you feel that way is because you are being overtaxed. I am. I do love your AR. It's very clean setup. Yeah, it's a nice setup. It doesn't have too much garbage on it. It's not a tactic cool system. I'm not into putting on a lot of stuff that just makes it cool, just keep it bare and minimum. Anyway, folks, I am going to take off. What is it? Texas Shepherd. I noticed in my area, it's all Trump signs except Old Town areas. Thanks for What You Do by Big Pearl. MK Ultra, Pure Sleep. Plus 2 tubes Roosevelt, 1 Mercury. Also, so he got 2 more tubes of some Confederate silver, or I shouldn't say Confederate, junk silver Roosevelt, and 1 Mercury. Always appreciated. Another live stream this weekend? Sure, absolutely, like Hawk. Again, I'm posting a video, I would say within a couple hours after I finish this. I'm just in the middle of processing it. You're going to like it. I'm driving around town, and I show you a bunch of signs, political signs. Some are vandalized, and you'll be surprised. Some are not vandalized, right next to each other. So, Steve-O, really quick before I leave. In the Portland area, do you see Portland voting for Biden or Trump as a whole? I mean, who do you think? Has Portland, Oregon changed their opinion on socialism? I'm just curious. I'm going to wait for your feedback. Steve-O. Steve-O. Come on, Steve-O. Portland, Oregon. They voting for Biden, you think, or Trump this time around? Steve-O, come on, the pressure's on. Steve-O. Who else is here? MK Ultra, Todd P, nice crowd disperser. Yep, this is my anti-Antifa weapon. I don't think we're going to get a response from Steve-O. Anyway, folks, I am going to call it a day. I will do another live stream this weekend. And again, I am going to put out a video. So you folks